Alright, guys, so we just watched the new Star Trek Into the Darkness, in IMAX 3D, and it was just awesome. Mind blowing. By far the best Star Trek material out there right now. What did you guys think? Danny?
I enjoyed it immensely. I'm not going to give away anything, but it definitely got me a little bit more into Star Trek. I'm not going to say I'm a Trekkie, but I will look into the TV shows, and it was just really good.
Josh?
It was one of the best movies I've seen in quite a while. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. And Marcus will tell you, I'm a big Trek hater. I have been for a long time. And the biggest thing that came out of this for me is that it gives me hope that JJ won't ruin Star Wars.
So, real quick before Marcus goes into his feelings, because I know his is going to be quite long and very intense.
Wait, I got one more thing. I was so excited for Iron Man 3, and this was 100 times better than Iron Man 3, which is such a disappointment in my eyes, but yet it's still amazing. Like, it's exciting.
Yeah, like for me, I was going into this, the trailer, I wasn't too excited for it. I didn't like the trailer at all, but this movie was just nothing like I thought it would be, and just 1,000 times better. It was just, like, I agree with Josh, probably one of the best movies I've seen in a while, especially in terms of science fiction. Like, just a great movie. You guys need to go see it. Marcus, what's your feelings on
Alright,
this?
yeah.
Limited battery.
I know. Sorry, yeah. It was everything that I wanted from the Star Trek movie, and so much more. It just, I was telling Josh, rarely does a second movie in a series just not destroy, but just top everything that the first one did. And this movie did that just in a way that I don't know if I've seen a movie do since like Empire Strikes Back. What made it so good was it captured everything that is great about Star Trek, and it took that and it made it the focus. Like, you know, in most movies it's beginning, climax, end, and that's how the story goes. But in Star Trek, you know, one character, James T. Kirk, may be the main character, but he's not really the main character, because the whole point of Star Trek is that you have a group of ordinary people coming together through feasible means to solve something and to advance humanity. And that's exactly what the bad guy of this movie, the reason he was bad was because humanity did something wrong. And it was humans without any kind of, you know, they used science and they used logic and they used friendship and they used loyalty and they used courage to defeat that foe. And that is exactly what Star Trek is about. And I cried throughout a good chunk of the movie.
You did cry.
I'm about to cry now. But it's just, for anyone who grew up liking Star Trek, J.J. Abrams did such a tribute to what early Star Trek was about. And it was during a time when sci-fi was out there and we had Martians coming from Mars to attack, you know, Earth. But what Star Trek is about at its core, and what makes Star Trek great, is that Star Trek is about friendship and loyalty coming together to beat the odds when they seem impossible day after day after day. And that is exactly, every character in this movie contributed. Every character contributed. They either contributed with their lives or they contributed with individual actions. But even new characters, every character contributed to solving the problem that was presented. And that's what makes Star Trek so powerful. And this movie was just an absolute joy to watch. I cried because I was happy. I shook because I was worried. It was perfect. It was a perfect Star Trek movie, and it just complements everything. It is a perfect addition to the Star Trek family that currently exists, and that is, I couldn't ask for anything better.
So make sure you check out Star Trek.
Then that will be the emotional rant, hopefully, that you get from me when Star Wars.
And that's what I hope. When I was shaking, like, this was the perfect Star Trek movie for me. And it gives me hope that I like Star Wars. I think Star Wars is a great series. I thoroughly enjoy watching it. But I hope and I have faith that when you leave the new Star Wars movie, you'll have this experience, because it is unlike a movie-going experience that I've had thus far. And that is just such a joy. There's one scene in the movie, we're not going to give any spoilers away, but there was one scene in this movie where the whole theater was just silent. It was beautiful. Live long and prosper. Go see Star Trek. It's phenomenal.